Today's discussion centers around the evolving military and diplomatic dynamics between Pakistan and China, two long-standing strategic allies. As the Chinese People's Liberation Army marks its 98th anniversary, recent developments at GHQ Rawalpindi have attracted significant regional attention, particularly from India. We'll be unpacking the facts behind the ceremony, analyzing media narratives, and addressing the misinformation being circulated on open-source platforms. Whether you're a student of international affairs or simply keen to understand South Asia's defense landscape, stay with us. This analysis cuts through the noise and brings you verified insights. On the surface, it was just a ceremony where Pakistan honored the Chinese military and displayed the close cooperation between the two countries to the world. But during this time, you might have seen some reports on Telegram or Twitter handles, especially open-source intelligence platforms operating from India or Greece, claiming that China has demanded sovereign guarantees from Pakistan. They said that if Pakistan doesn't provide these guarantees, China won't supply next-generation defense systems like the J-35 or HQ-19. This narrative has been circulating for the past week. Let me tell you the reality. Anyone who understands even basic geopolitics knows that this is not possible. Regarding sovereign guarantees, every country takes them. There's nothing unusual about it. Yes, the US often includes strict or unusual terms and conditions. For example, the US told Pakistan not to use F-16s against India, but that was just a pressure tactic. Pakistan has used F-16s against India whenever needed, back in 2019 and even in the recent 2025 clash. Our F-16s were airborne and fully armed. So yes, the US uses such tactics, and similarly, if China sells military equipment, it will also include its terms and conditions. Likewise, if Pakistan sells military equipment to countries like Azerbaijan or Iraq, we also include our terms. But those terms never say, if you don't do this, you won't get that. Based on the geopolitical paradigms, both parties agree on mutual terms. The narrative that China has imposed harsh sanctions or strict conditions on Pakistan, saying, "You won't get J-35 or HQ-19 if you don't comply," is completely false. Even those spreading it know it's untrue. Previously, the same people claimed that the range of the Chinese PLACE-15 missile was just 145 kilometers and drilled that figure into their military's minds. But in an actual war-like scenario, their air force was completely exposed. They also once said that BrahMos missile was unstoppable. But Pakistan has successfully performed hard kills against BrahMos and also soft kills through electronic warfare. So this should now be clear. There's another issue. The Indian side is extremely agitated about this ceremony. They are uneasy. One reason is that recently, in the Ladakh region, 2 Indian soldiers died in a mysterious accident, one of them a lieutenant colonel. India claims it was an accident, but some other sources report that China might have been involved. India is also worried because they wanted to contain Pakistan in 2025 but failed. Now, if China makes any aggressive moves in Arunachal Pradesh or Ladakh, areas where they've already established their presence, India is unsure how it will counter that. We've already seen in the recent conflict how ineffective the S-400 system was. The S-400 should have shot down aircraft flying within Pakistan's territory, but it failed. It may have downed 2 or 3 drones at best, and even then, India relied more on its air defense artillery and short-range systems. S-400's onboard radars were destroyed, and not by any high-tech system, but by Pakistan's old 4th-generation JF-7 aircraft. So Pakistan didn't even use cutting-edge equipment. These are the things causing serious concern in India right now, for both the Indian Army and Air Force. Their Air Force already has fewer squadrons than required. They should have 42, but currently have 31, and with 2 MiG-21 squadrons recently retired, only 29 remain. Meanwhile, Indian defense officials themselves are criticizing their military for not making timely decisions or procurements, and those timely inductions still aren't happening. On top of that, the US has recently imposed tariffs, and India is the most heavily tariffed Asian country now. So a separate diplomatic conflict between India and the US has already begun. India had hoped that by spreading this narrative about Pakistan, China would step back. But that didn't happen. The day after Pakistan signed a trade deal with the US, there was a joint Pakistan-China military ceremony at GHQ, and before that, a Pakistani field marshal was already in China. So this is the paradigm where Pakistan needs to manage its diplomatic challenges, and so far, Pakistan's strategy has been better. Yes, there are flaws that need to be worked on. But on the other hand, what does India have left now? Just propaganda to keep its own people happy, because international media, even Pakistani media, is banned inside India. While misinformation and geopolitical propaganda continue to cloud public perception, the strategic partnership between Pakistan and China remains strong and forward-looking. Despite speculative narratives, both nations continue to build defense cooperation based on mutual interests and long-term vision. India's internal military challenges, recent diplomatic friction with the US, and visible discomfort over regional developments highlight the shifting balance in South Asia. We hope this analysis helped clarify the situation with grounded facts and strategic context. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Defense World for more clear-headed, fact-based geopolitical insights.